Hey guys, this is Damien with Sauce Boss Gaming, and today we're going to talk about Tales of Arise for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Alright, so jumping right into the story, Tales of Arise is about two characters that come together and make a pact to stop this thing called the Crown Contest. Now, a little bit of world building. You have two worlds in Tales of Arise. You have the Danans from Dana and the Renans from Renna. Long story short, the Renans came down and kind of divided up different regions of Dana so they could run this thing called the Crown Contest. Now, there are 5 Renan lords who enslave Danan civilians, and they put them to work so they can collect astral energy, and basically the lord that collects the most astral energy becomes the sovereign, which is this supreme ruler in Renna. Now, our main characters are there to try to stop this from happening because, slavery's bad. Now, for those of you who have never played a Tales game, you don't have to play the other games to understand what's going on. They do a good job of telling a quality story and doing a lot of world building when you play through the game. And even if you're somebody who doesn't like a lot of dialogue, there's still a lot of humor. There's a lot of banter when people are fighting. So it's just something for everyone, but you're definitely going to leave knowing that this was a quality story. So definitely check it out for that, if not anything. So the combat in Tales of Arise is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go through every little bit of detail, but as far as the basics, you have your regular melee attacks, which you can do as much as you want. Right above your health, you have this thing called the AG, or the action gauge, that allows you to use your special moves. And then at the top right, you have your CP, that is your cure points, and that's for like your support moves, your revives, heals, things like that. And all of your party members share those points collectively. So if someone uses a healing technique and it costs 20 CP, then the whole group kind of goes down as far as what they can do. And the only way to replenish that is if you use an item or if you go to a rest stop. So that's a little interesting. And then you have support moves, which goes to my next point. If you get the enemy's health to a certain little percentage and you start comboing them and all this stuff, you get to do a strike. And basically this is a flashy one-hit kill. It also hits enemies in the area, so it's nice for wiping out little groups. Aside from that, every character has their own little perk that they can use in combat, whether or not it's their support move or just basic abilities by themselves. Like the main character can pull out a fire sword and increase the damage by sacrificing health. So there's a lot that goes into combat. Also, the game incentivizes you for doing combos and mixing up your moves. And you're going to get a lot of moves as you play through the game. But one little factor is if you use the same move over and over, the attack actually becomes weaker. So the combat overall is very easy for anybody, even if you've never played these games. It's easy to get into, but you will have to learn how to combo and become advanced if you want to see the full fruits of your labor. You can go in and do the bare minimum, but the game incentivizes you for learning how to combo, learning how to put all this stuff together, and you'll feel better for it, especially by the end of the game. A cool thing that is in here is the skill tree. Now, in most games, you kind of grind out your skill points so you can unlock new abilities. And the cool thing about this is, yes, you do have to get points to unlock different little perks for your characters, but the skill tree opens up by you interacting in the world. So there's actually little things that you have to do story related or side quest related to actually expand every character's skill tree. I know one character really likes to fish, so her skill tree kind of opens up from you catching different types of fish in the world. So stuff like that adds to the lore and just makes it a cool experience overall. Another thing that I didn't notice until about midway through the game is when you complete a section of the skill tree, you actually get like a little buff for your character. So for instance, there was one circle where if you complete it, you get like plus 50 attack. So that incentivizes you to complete the skill tree so you could have a better equipped character. Aside from that, just a little extra thing to throw in. I really like the fast travel system in this game. It just made it so much more bearable to just go from place to place and do what I needed to do, especially if I forgot something. I didn't feel like it was a chore to go back and handle whatever it is I needed to handle. I could just fast travel to the nearest spot. Sometimes I can go directly wherever I need to go and just handle my business. So really great features, that and the skill tree. I love it. Please keep that up in the next game. The last thing I want to talk about are just the jokes in this game. I already said that the story is amazing, but they do a great job of expanding the story with skits and the cutscenes that you see. Now, the thing is, when you get to a skit, and there are a lot of them, you actually get a lot of extra world building. So one thing that sticks out to me is one of the characters in your party uses a few characters use magic, but there's one who does these incantations in battle, and she says some pretty random stuff, and in most games they'll just do that and leave it as is, but in Tales people actually follow up on that. So there was one skit where they actually brought up the fact that this person makes these incantations and why do they do it, and they give you an explanation for it. And the thing is, all the skits are optional, but the thing is, if you skip them, you miss a lot of cool nuanced information. So I like the fact that they're there. Plus, most of them are funny, even the cutscenes. Like, just, you could have the most serious character and they have some funny comment that they throw out or some funny interaction, and it just made the game fresh for me. Like, the whole story is kind of heavy in some points, but the fact that they squeeze in this humor and it doesn't feel forced or lame or anything like that was just a breath of fresh air. And I know they do this in a lot of the Tales games, just to kind of break the mold. So for those of you who are new, if you're into comedy and just quality comedy, this is it. This is for you. They do a good job of handling the serious stuff and the funny stuff without making it boring or just cliche. So yeah, anybody that's listening to this at Bandai, please include more of this in the next game. I know you will, but I just, I want to throw it out there just because. But yeah, guys, this is a funny game, and with the extra stuff that they put in there with the skits, it gives you a lot of backstory into this world, and I really appreciated that. So the final verdict, is Tales of Arise a buy or pass? I'm going to say this is definitely a game that you want to buy if you're into action RPGs, games with a lot of lore, backstory, world building, all that stuff. This is a game for you, and hopefully it'll get you into the Tales series as a whole so you can go and play the others, because a little caveat with Tales games is they have a lot of Easter eggs and callbacks to the other games, especially in the post game. So there was a lot of stuff that I looked at and I said, why does this feel familiar? And then I realized, oh, that was a character from this Tales game, and this reference, this person, little things like that. Just, it's the icing on the cake. They have their own little ecosystem here, and I like it. So yes, guys, definitely pick this up. There's lots of things to do in the world. You could easily spend over 100 hours playing these games. The enemies are decently varied. You do have super bosses and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff to keep you occupied for hours when it comes to Tales, if you give it a chance. So with that being said, guys, this was the review. Definitely pick up this game, and definitely make sure you subscribe so you could see me in the next video and you won't miss out, and share this with your friends. Other than that, guys, this is Sauce Boss. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
This is our chance.
Guys.
And... Oh, too much and...
Yeah, but Alphen, you do that thing where you grind your teeth really loudly in your sleep.
I don't see how that's... Well, at least it's not as bad as when you...
When I what?
Whoa, guys!
You're the one who made this weird.
Thanks, everyone. I need to be better at not... But I'm gonna...